you've been brought into this whole extreme like love triangle. It's basically like a love hexagon that you're having to deal with.
Yeah, is it a hexagon or an octagon now? I don't know how many people it's been chatting to, but it's getting bigger by the day.
Welcome back to Glamour with me, Josh Smith, and today we are joined by the amazing Megan! Yes, surf those angles, honey! Now, you have had one of the most intense years. Like, your life has completely changed from what it was before. You've had Love Island, you've come out, you've dealt with all this insane stuff that's going on. Has fame been what you expected it would be like?
Not really. Like, I think from before I was in the industry, you just see the highlights. You see like the big events and like getting glammed up and the like deals and stuff like that. It's like when I started working with Pretty Little Thing, I was like, oh my God, my dream's coming true, that's it. But you don't see the negative, the trolling, everyone's opinion on literally everything you do, whether it's like a work job, whether it's a relationship choice, whatever it is, you're gonna be criticised by all angles. So that at first was a lot to deal with, but I think you learn as you go on, like you change with it. I've definitely like grown a harder skin and just feel like I'm different now.
What do you think you've learned about yourself in the last year, would you say?
I feel like I'm definitely stronger than I thought I was. Coming out, when after the final you get taken into a press office and they'll tell you like, right, this story's come out, and I was like, I just want to stay here, like let's not go back to reality. But it's not until you're having to deal with that and you're in amongst all of these stories and people's opinions and people's judgment on, like I say, every move you make, you don't realise how hard you are and how strong you are as a person. And for me, I think I'm 25 now. If I'm going to make a choice, it's for me. It won't please everybody out there, but as long as me, my family and close friends are happy, I'm happy.
Yes, that's the spirit, because it has to be all about you and where you get your own validation from. Your validation comes from within, right?
Yeah, exactly. And you can't please everyone. And what people see at home or through Instagram or social media is a small part of it. They don't see everything.
What would you say has been the worst thing you've read about yourself by a troll?
Probably for me, about my looks prior to surgery, because obviously I wasn't content and happy with the way I look. So for me to go and make a change and be open and honest about it, like there's countless celebrities that have had little tweaks here and there and never own up to it. And for me, I think as a young girl, I looked up to all these like perfect looking people, all in society's world, like perfect. And no one admits to surgery. So me being given this platform, I think, no, I'm gonna say, do you know what, when I was 13, I didn't love my sticky out ears, I didn't love this, and I changed it. And if you wanna do that, and you're happy to do that, don't feel afraid to say that, because it's like, you get penalised for not having surgery, and then when you go and take them steps, then you get penalised because you're fake, plastic, and like that was what really hurt me. It was like the guy that I left the villa with, there was like, wait until he sees the real you. It's like, I'm a 14-year-old child in these pictures. Like, how can you ridicule a 14-year-old child? It's so sad.
Do you feel like you still carry around that 14-year-old child with you?
Of course, that's my biggest thing to young girls. Like, I'm happy with the choices I made with cosmetic surgery, but at 19, I went in with the view that, right, I'm gonna get enlarged breasts, I'm gonna have my nose done, and I'm gonna come out and I'm gonna be so confident and sassy. Unless you learn to love yourself, all you're changing is the outside shell. So that's my biggest message to young girls. But these trolls, they know that deep down you're still this insecure young girl who's like, doesn't love the way she looks. And although I've changed the outside shell, it took a lot of therapy, a lot of self-love, age, and all kinds of things to make me really love myself.
So if you could go back now, and with the money you spent on, say, plastic surgery, would you put that into therapy instead and do that first? Or how would you have changed it, maybe? I
was fortunate enough to do both. So the first point of call for me was the boobs and the nose. And then I changed that, and then I thought, do you know what, I'm still not happy. And like I said, I'm honest and open. I was 19, I was naive, and I thought, I'm gonna come out and be so confident. That wasn't the case. So the next thing, I got straight on the phone, I got a therapist, and I was just talking about like, why don't you love yourself? And the truth is, it's not about the outside appearance, it's about, I don't know what it is, it's just like, either you're like built with this self-esteem or you're not. And I've always had low self-esteem, but I think with age, with pushing myself, definitely like Love Island, stripping, all of that, it's something that naturally a shy, insecure person wouldn't do. So to put myself in these situations, you're growing and you're proving to yourself how strong you can be.
What's the biggest lesson you've learned from therapy?
It's the way you talk to yourself. So if on a daily basis you're telling yourself negative things, you're going to believe that. The way you talk up your friends and like, no, come on girl, you've got this, you can do this, then you're going to be confident. I think I'm my own worst critic. So number one, don't compare yourself to anyone on social media, because that is a highlighted version of someone's life. And as cliche as it is, love yourself. You've got to tell yourself positive like affirmations in the morning. Be like, right, you've got this. Do you know what I mean? I'm my own worst critic. So I think that was the biggest journey I've come on in therapy, to speak kindly to myself.
Where are you at with your self-esteem now, would you say? Sitting in this chair today, how are you with your self-esteem and yourself?
I think at 25, I love myself. I'm not apologetic for any of my previous choices, in a sexual way, in a work way, in any way. I'm a little bit selfish, but it's to make me happy. You only have one life and you've got to live it, and I'm living my best life, so
yes, queen, yes you are. And also I think what's really important as well is to remember when the things that have happened to you, like, because I've got to know you quite a bit over the last, like, say, 6 months.
Yeah.
And the level of sexism that is pushed towards you is extreme. And we were just talking about, you know, with the relationship between you and Wes, he's sort of seen as this, like, golden child almost. And then you're kind of vilified, probably just because of the fact that you're a woman. And that's how society's been trained to think. What do you think about that level of sexism you've faced in the public eye, would you say? To
me, obviously, being in the industries I've been in, you kind of get accustomed to being like, no, we're exactly the same as men. But all the women I work with, everyone in my circle is of that mentality, like women are the same as men. But for a lot of people out there, it's still very backward. It's still like, oh, women need to be all like sweet and virginal and innocent, and men can go out and sleep with whoever they want. So I think slowly and surely, for me, the real people that like made me confident and be able to speak out about was like Amy Schumer, Amber Rose, all of these women. If they hadn't been so outspoken with their platform and say, yeah, we're a woman, but we enjoy sex just as much, I wouldn't have been able to do that, because I think in the UK it's still very behind. Taboo. And in the US, people are more open about it. Like, there shouldn't be any shame in it. As long as you're practicing safe sex, enjoy it.
Yeah, exactly. Strap on and just get on with it at the end of the day. But also, I think what's really important is that you've been brought into this whole extreme, like, love triangle. It's basically like a love hexagon that you're having to deal with in the situation you're in right now.
Yeah, is it a hexagon or an octagon now? I don't know how many people it's been chatting to, but it's getting bigger by the day.
But if you wanted to set the record straight on it, what would you want to say to people about your experience of being in that situation? If you want to tell the truth, what would you want to say? As
a woman or as a guy, just trust your instincts. If you know something is off, trust yourself, don't listen to everyone else. And I think it's so hard in any new relationship trying to figure out what the other person's priorities are they being completely honest with you, let alone when you're in the public eye and every single person's got an opinion. So you know within yourself, trust your instincts and go with your gut.
Have your instincts been proved right in this situation?
1,000,000%.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because when you read it, all these headlines, are you like, oh, finally, it's like the truth is out?
Yeah, it still stings, because in my heart, I wanted not to believe it, and I am very passionate, and I did speak out when I had these doubts, and I thought, oh, hopefully I'm wrong, hopefully it's just me being insecure, whatever, but it turns out I was right the whole way, so.
But I also think a really important thing to remember here is, like, when you came out and you said those things that you were jealous, it's like, we all do it. We all go into like these jealousy circles, don't we? Where we're like, oh my God, you just like this person's picture on Instagram. Did you like go into that cycle as well?
Let's be honest, like, no one's gonna like their partner being with another male or female for 12 hours a day, like 10 hours a day. It's not ideal, especially in a new, fresh relationship. So we went from being on a TV show to then coming out, and we had no time. Do you know what? We missed all the nice bit of dating. We never went for dates. We went from 0 to 100. We was like in the villa with no stresses, no troubles, to then being like an old married couple, living with each other. I've never lived with anyone. He had never lived with anyone. So it's like we skipped the whole nice, cutesy bit. Like
the Nando's trips, babe, basically.
I wouldn't say Nando's, but yeah.
I mean, clearly I'm a team day. Now, when you're looking back at the insane year you've had, these extreme headlines, and you're looking forward to this new year, this new start, like you've just finished with Wes, you've got a fresh new start. What do you want to achieve next? What do you want to find?
For me, I didn't come out the villa and think, right, money, I'm gonna do this deal about like hair extensions. for me, I was fortunate enough to earn good money at like the age of 20. So now at 25, I just want to do things like this, the campaign for bullying, mental health. I want to do more serious things. I'm done with reality. I don't want to let people in my personal life about like relationships and stuff like that. I'd love to do documentaries. I love and I'm obsessed with Louis Theroux and Stacey Dooley.
Oh my God, you need to be the new female Louis Theroux.
I literally want to.
feeling this.
You know when he goes to like brothels and stuff, like, I would love it, but because on a more personal level, I can relate to girls that have worked in like strip clubs and stuff like that. I'd love to show my more serious side because I am really intrigued and interested. And obviously, I've lived, not the brothels, but I've lived a little part of it.
Yeah. If you could say to someone who's like, you know, might be a stripper right now and they feel like they can't get any escape and like people can't see them any differently, what would you want to say to those guys?
Just own it, and you don't have to explain yourself to anyone. That was my biggest problem at 20. I made this choice to go and do it, and I was so naive. I never stepped foot into a strip club before I started working in one, and I thought, oh, it'd just be older men, no one's ever gonna find out. Of course, everyone in my local area found out, and then I had like hate left, right and centre. And I think as long as you're happy and you're comfortable doing the job you're doing, do it. You can't please everyone, and as long as you're happy, that's the main thing.
I think it's so amazing that you can sit here and you can say this stuff and you can empower people and use your platform in such an amazing way. Han, I think you're epic. Thank you so much for sharing that. You're incredible.